Hello everyone, welcome back. We are finally nearing the end of our home media server build. Today, I'm going to be showing you how to set up file sharing through Samba. As always on Linux, the first thing you're going to want to do is open up the terminal and type in the command sudo apt-get install update. We already did this, so I won't be executing the command. What you're going to want to do next is type in the command sudo apt install samba to get the Samba packages. Again, I won't be executing this command because we had already done this. Once the install is finished, type in the command sudo systemctl status smbd and nmbd. This will show you the status of the packages you just installed and whether or not they're online. If you're wondering about the background, yes, that is Yes Man from a 10 out of 10 game, but don't buy it. It is a 10 out of 10 game, but don't buy it. Now we need to edit the Samba config file. We can do this by typing in the command sudo nano /etc/samba/smb.conf.
Yeah, you messed it up.
And here we are, the Samba config file. Now this thing gave us a lot of problems, but we finally found the right settings to make it work for us. I'm just going to show you the config file and how we put it together so that you can copy it. Also, I'll leave the config settings in the description below. On the Samba share part, you're going to want to change the path where it says path equals, because we put our own folder that we were going to share on that. So you're going to want to change it to whichever folder you're using on your home media server. I'm just going to force you to look at this for a couple seconds. An easier way to set up the share file would be to download the Nautilus package, which you can do by typing in the command sudo apt-get install Nautilus. And once it's done installing, you can run it by typing in sudo Nautilus. It'll open up a file explorer tab and you'll be able to select which folder you want to share by right-clicking it and selecting local network share. Then you can select which settings you want, click share, add permissions, and it'll just do it automatically. And you should be able to see it on the other device you're using to connect to the server, and that can be any OS, just by typing in the IP address of the server and the path to the folder. This path that I'm in is actually the 2 terabyte hard drive on our server that we use to hold all the movies for when we're streaming on Plex. Now, when you want to access this share file, you can map a network drive on Windows, or you can use the run command on Windows and type in the IP address of the server and then the path to the folder that you want. If you need to find the IP address on your Ubuntu server, you can just type in the command sudo ifconfig and it'll list your IP address there. Alright, now I'm going to show proof by moving this very video to the share folder. Let's see which one it is. What's the second one? Oh, this is... everything that I'm doing now is being recorded now. So, what's happening now? . Alright, so it should be this first one. So I'm just going to move it to the share file that we already have set up. Just going to rename it to, let's say Beans Galore. Why not? Okay, I'm just gonna check if everything went through okay, and it did. So what I'm gonna do next is open up the Samba config file and show you the path that we had set our file share to, and then I'm gonna pass it on to Andres so you could see from his point of view the file that we had just transferred over.
Take it away.
Alright, thank you, Pookie. I'll take it from here. So everybody, the first thing you're going to want to do is on Windows, hit the Windows key and R, and that should open up the run window. And in the run window, you're going to want to type // the IP address of your Samba share / your Samba share folder. And to show that what Pookie did is working, let's just open up Beans Galore right here. There it is. And let's take a look at this. Let's go ahead and check the properties on this to make sure everything is in order. And it is. This is indeed our folder, and it's working. I have access. So let's go and open up a browser, and let's show you how to create a library in Plex. So in the browser, you're going to want to type in the IP address of the host, so the server, and then :32400/web. And that should give you access to the server and the dashboard. Now select the administrative account. In this case, it would be my account. If you put a pin, put your pin. And here we go. We're in the management server for Plex. So now I'm going to show you how to... I'm not sure what I'm going to show you just yet. Let's go ahead and click on Dashboard. Here on Dashboard, you can see a lot of things, people playing, who has access to the server. You can see the CPU usage. All right, so here, I'm going to show you how to create a library. So click on Add Library. Now click Movies. And you want to name it Movies. That's the easiest way to make sure that it can be readable by the server. Then we're going to go to Add Folders, and data/movies is where ours is, and we're actually going to show you how to do it like this. So browse for media folder, and it should come up here. Because we already put ours, it's not going to show up, but you can physically type in the directory up on top, how I did. And once you do that, once you type in the directory, then it should be A-OK. And you connect that, and the Plex server should read all of the movies that are located on that server, or in that folder. Alright, so let's move on up to quality. And here you can set your video quality, so the automatic video quality, and you're going to want to do this depending on your internet speed and several other factors like the server strength and how many people you expect to be using it, and things like that. Alright, now let's head over to remote access, and here you can make sure that People outside of your network can access Plex. So your friends and family, in this case, it's my dad. And he can access all of my movies, and I bought all these movies, but you're going to want to do that by having the forward-facing IP, so your public IP, which you get from your internet service provider. You get that, and then you put in the public-facing port, and then they should have access to it. So you have to port forward it through your firewall and through your router and through Plex. Now let's talk about agents. You want to set up your agents so that when you upload a movie to Plex, Plex can automatically pull from IMDb and other databases to populate the metadata of your movie, things like posters, backgrounds, subtitles, and things of that nature. So make sure that you optimize these to make sure that you're using the databases that you want. Well, there's a little hiccup there, but in my case I want to use IMDb mostly, and then there are some other ones like when I rip my Blu-rays, they come with metadata already, so I make sure to include local media assets as well. Okay, so to set the transcoder to accept all of that RAM and to start doing memory transcoding, we have to write /dev/shm, for Linux, and for Windows it would be your /temp folder. So this is going to take advantage of all that memory and all that RAM that we bought. In the new R710 server that we have, it's actually going to be 64 gigabytes, I think. So we upgraded, we got twice as much. So again, make sure that you're doing this so that you're writing to your memory and not to your solid state or to your hard drives. This makes a huge difference in the performance of Plex. Next is transcoder quality. For this one, you got a few options. We're going to pick, well, I am going to pick prefer higher speed encoding, and that's just what it does is that it lowers the quality of the transcodes so that it can supply more transcodes. Then you have other options, you have somewhere in the middle, and then you have make my CPU hurt, and that's really if you want to do 4K and others and you don't really plan on having a lot of transcodes at the same time, and that's good for, you know, higher quality. So next, if you go to your movies and you're finding that some of your movies are not matching because of the database, it's pretty simple how to fix this. So all you want to do is go to the movie that's not matching. So here, let's unmatch BuenaVista Social Club, and let me show you what I'm talking about. So we're going to unmatch that. And as you can see, it doesn't have a poster. It doesn't really know what it is. It's not reaching out to a database. So then we're going to click the three dots again, right in the bottom right corner of the poster. Then we're going to go down and match it. Then it should pop right up. But to show you how to search for something, you would go and click on search options and type in, let's get rid of that. And you could type in BuenaVista. And there it is. That's the movie we have. Let's go and pick the poster we want again. And yeah, I like that one. There you go. It's actually that simple. Okay, so you can see I've already added some of my movies to the collection. They're streamable completely through Plex. My dad and my uncle already tested it. They streamed it from Connecticut. But now quickly we're gonna go over file structure and naming conventions. So for movies, you're gonna wanna, well, I type mine in all caps, but in the movies folder for your library, you wanna type out the name of the movie, space, parentheses, and the year that it came out, close parentheses. But now I bet you're wondering, oh my God, but what if I got a two-parter movie? Like, you know how sometimes directors and make movies that are split into two? Well, there's a way to make it automatically play if you name it right. And I'm going to show you that with Ben-Hur. So you're going to want to name it Ben-Hur, space, parentheses, the year it came out, close parentheses, space, dash, space, part 1. All one word, part 1. And then the second part will be part 2, and so on and so forth. And then it should play automatically. Here, look, I'll show you. Now maybe I can turn up the music here for the intermission. that easy. Plex makes a lot of things very simple for you. So you can click things and mark them as unviewed so that they start from the beginning. That's something I like to do. But anyways, let's make user accounts. This is simple and easy. Simple and easy mean the same thing, but let's get started anyways. So here I'm going to invite a friend. You can't see the email address because I care too much about their privacy. So let's do that. All you have to do is write their name in, continue, send that over to them. There we go. Give them access to your libraries. Make sure you click that. If you don't, then they're going to be wondering why they can't see anything. I typically don't like to allow downloads because it hurts my internet connection. And there we go. We make sure that they have no restrictions, and now they can watch everything I have. They get the link in the email, and then it's up to them to accept whether or not they want to be a part of your group, and it's simple as that. Okay, now for the boring part, but important nonetheless. Remember, everyone, BuenaVista Information Systems, LLC, does not condone the downloading and usage of pirated movies. All of these movies have been purchased from Walmart or from private users or vendors, and we want to make sure that you're using Plex legally and that you're using it to promote movies that you love, to back up your personal libraries, and for that kind of stuff, not for illegal stuff. But I hope you enjoyed it. It's been a blast for us, and I mean, that's pretty much it. I guess maybe I'll show you how to rip Blu-rays using Handbrake and make MKV. And thanks for sticking around. This was great. It was a success. There were some hiccups along the way, but we did it. And I think that if you followed along, I hope you didn't do everything we did. Next week, we're going to make another video that talks a bit about the things that we did wrong, the things that you can do to avoid that, and the things that we didn't expect could have gone wrong. So we're going to have an updated build that you can pick up and make on your own. So these servers that we bought, the R710s, were actually pretty cheap. You can find them pretty cheap, and you can implement a lot of really cool stuff with them. You can make them, you can deploy them for some really cool solutions. So that being said, thank you very, very much, and stay tuned for the next series of videos. We're going to try to do a Raspberry Pi project, but we're going to keep that one under wraps. Anyways, stay tuned for more videos because we got a lot of tips coming your way.